Well, here I am standing amongst 11 3D backgrounds. Each of these backgrounds are a one-off. They're not like our Rocky style, our Ledge style, our Crevice, or our Holy Rock, where you can buy them in the many different sizes. They are just one. They were molded from a rock face, and I kept them as the size that I molded at that time. So this is what I used to sell in Australia for the previous 15 years until I got to America, where I made them in many other sizes, which has proved to be great for the salespeople and for those people who have many size tanks and they like that style and they want to use it for a number of their tanks. But this is not like that, so you must pay attention if you're interested in any of these, and I'll explain what size background this is for and maybe what its benefits and weaknesses possibly are. So the first one, the smallest I've got here, is the little gecko. This was made from a basalt mold about south of 2 hours south of Sydney, and it has a little hole in a little section here where you can put food. I made it for reptiles. It can go in an aquarium. It's 30 inches, it's 29.5 inches long by 11.5 inches high. So it's for a 30-inch long tank, okay? And once again, great for reptiles and or aquariums. We'll just put that to the side. The gecko. The next one is the Bombo. The Bombo was actually same place. I got the mold from the same place. It was from a location on the east coast of Australia called Bombo, and it was an old quarry that I took this. I love this mold. Now, I made this where you could just drill a little hole and put a very small little fitting in there and turn this into a waterfall. So if you want to have a frog tank or something a little bit more where it's just rather than just stagnant, you can get the water running down it. It's got the rock at the base, so you only need to put some gravel at the front, maybe a little bit of plants or so, and it just looks fantastic. Keep in mind, the back of the tank, if you can view from the side of the tank, this is exposed, okay? So there's a few things you can do with that. One is accept it. Two is come along and put some black contact there. Another way is paint some black silicone 2 or 3 times onto that spot and then cut the excess away. That's a real professional job. That can look really neat on the side. This side is not so much the same as that. It doesn't need any work like that. So this is suitable for a 36-inch long tank and an 18-inch high tank. The Bombo. This is the Cliffhanger. Suitable for a 36-inch high, 23, I think it's 23 and a bit high, so it fits in a 36 by 24 tank. Lots and lots of detail. This was molded just close to where I live in Sydney, and had this, I would say, probably 12-13 years, and got plenty of detail. Doesn't take up too much space in your tank, so just keep that in mind if you don't have a very wide tank, or you want something that's got still a lot of character. So that's the Cliffhanger. Okay. This is the Olgas. Now this is relatively new. I did have the 72 by 24 Olgas, and that's been a very big seller for me for probably 10 years. I made a base to this, so in nature actually this did not come with a base, but I added that, and quite frankly I love it, especially when you have gravel across the front and some plants. You fill up part of this with some gravel, you've got this big overhang, you've got a lot of character here. So this is the Olgas Complete, suitable for a 36 by 24 enclosure. Whilst I've just shown you the Olgas for that size, I'll just show you it in the 72 by 24. Once again, suits a 72-inch tank, but it's actually about 71 and a quarter by 23 and a half high. So this is the Olgas, big seller for many years. The Canyon, another big seller of mine. Excuse me, my microphone just fell off here. 1 second. Nothing like live TV, hey? Okay. The Canyon here, big seller again, suitable for a 48 by 24 tank. Takes up a bit of space in the tank. I think the furthest point it takes up is like 10 inches. So you've got to just be a bit careful if you're not wanting a big section of your tank taken up. But as far as the average amount that it takes up in the tank, it's probably more like 3-4 inches. So nice background. Comes about 47 and a quarter inches long and about 23 high. That's the Canyon. The Complete. This was made piecing together. This was not just a straight out rock face. This came from the similar place to the first two that I got from Bombo, but I added and cut and pasted a lot of places. Got an indentation here for some food for reptiles, so I made this particularly for reptiles. Some big ledges here for the animals to sit on. Sits out quite wide, so if you look along there, this is taking up, you need a tank, I think that's like, off my memory, it's sort of 15 inches or so, quite a wide tank, preferably a 20 to a 24 inch wide tank. The average amount it takes up is probably closer to 6 or 7 inches. So the 48 by 24 Complete, and that's the size tank that it fits in. It's a little bit smaller than that, but that's what it fits in. It stands up on its own, looks great with all the animals in it and the plants. Okay. Okay, 48 by 24 Complete Kiama. Came from, once again, the place, similar place to those two that I showed you before. Beautiful background, lots and lots of dimension, lots of ledges. The ledges that come out are really on the bottom, so it doesn't take up too much of the tank, just a lot of character. So, you know, I'm thinking for a reptile tank, if you've got lots of moss, or like an amphibian tank I should say, lots of moss, create some little waterfalls, little outlets, drill some little micro holes and have your pumps running and dripping water down all this. Looks fantastic. But it wasn't just made for that, it was made for aquariums as well. So that's 48 by 24 Kiama. Okay, and as you can see, there's a lot of 48 by 24s. They've always been the biggest seller for us. Typically in the past that was a lot to do with we didn't have the foam backgrounds. We needed something to bend and put into a tank because of the center brace. So with all of these, they can all be bent. So keep in mind, you can see how flexible this is. So you can actually put that into a tank relatively easy and then either use our clips or silicone to the back of the tank. So this is the 48 by 24 Complete BFR Complete. Okay, sticks out, got some big chunks that come out on it. Looks fantastic. We set that up often with two outlets, one here and one here in our, you might see on the YouTube or on our website where we've got this in a 48 by 12 inch bow front tank, and we have the top of this running as a waterfall and it looks really, really nice. When I made that, I thought, what else? I want the fish to be able to swim in behind, so I actually did a lot of creativity by cutting and pasting some rock formations, and I made the BFR 48 by 24 Complete 002. So it's got all these holes that I've cut in that. Okay, so then the fish will go in and out, and they'll you know, they typically don't stay there, so they come back out. So I think this is all about making a beautiful home for your fish tanks. Okay, for your animals, I should say. So yeah, 48 by 24. And then the larger one at the back here, this is new. This mold came from West Texas, and the mold I can do 9 feet by 4 feet. So this is West Texas background. The mold's big. There's no small sizes made, so if you ever order this, it's going to be a portion of this. It's going to be a custom background cut to suit your size tank. So this is just an absolutely beautiful mold, suitable for both reptiles and for fish. So keep that in mind. Any questions, don't be afraid to give us an email, send it to Universal Rocks, and we can answer your questions, or give us a call. Thanks very much.